Hey there, welcome back to Life's Necessities and Luxuries TV. I want to help you figure out what it is you want in life, how do you want to feel, how do you want to look, what do you want, who do you want to love, what kind of lifestyle do you want to lead. And it's hard because, there's so many different factors that come into our lives. Life gets really complicated sometimes, and we have to step aside and step back and say, hold on, we'll burn ourselves out if we just don't take some time for yourself to just chill out and take a breath and say, you know what, I can't love anybody else until I take care of myself, because if I'm not strong, then I can't be strong for other people. And I've been a caregiver for my entire family for a really long time. I had enabled people in my life to do things and take advantage and do, I've spent a lot of money on them. I've done a lot of things where it wasn't my responsibility to do, but I always felt like I felt bad, so guilty or something. So if I have it, I want to share it, but I actually shared it to the wrong people because they didn't appreciate it. They just seemed to take advantage of it. And it's a messed up feeling, because you always feel like, wow, I wanted to do something for somebody. I wanted to do something good. I don't expect anything in return, but, thank yous are not so bad. I like a thank you from time to time, because, it's nice to know that somebody is appreciating the hard work that you do. We know how hard it is to make money. It's really hard to make money, and it's really easy to spend it, and it's really easy to disappear. I've had money, I've lost it, I've had it, I've lost it. A drunk driver hit me when I was 22, and I was studying to be a dancer on Broadway. That was my dream. And then that got knocked out of the ballpark, and so I didn't know what to do next. And so then I wound up working in the music business, which took me into a whole different path, but which was pretty amazing. I got to work with Michael Jackson and deal with publishing his catalog of music, and with the Beatles, and the Beatles catalog. So it was pretty amazing. How life is, right? You don't know how it's going to go. One minute you're in the shitter, the next you're on cloud nine. So I love it because I've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life. Hasn't been an easy journey by any means. But when it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it really is bad. So I just keep laughing, I keep smiling, and I pray to God saying, you have a plan for me, and so you're going to help me get to the next step. And I give it up to Him and try not to worry and keep moving forward so that I can just feel like, okay, it's being taken care of. I don't have to worry about it every day. And I want you to think about that too. Like, I know when you have a problem, I'm sure it keeps reeling in the mind day in, day out. You can't sleep, you can't eat. It's worry, worry, worry. But I found that when I do give it up, maybe you don't call it God, maybe you call it the universe, the higher being, whatever you call it. But if you can give up your cares that way and just say, you know what? It's going to happen, it's out of my control, I'm going to do what I have to do and keep moving on. And listen to those little voices that you hear to say, oh, you know what, something's telling me to go to this store, something's telling me to buy this book, something's telling me to listen to this radio program, something's telling me to take this class, whatever it might be. Listen to that, because I follow that forever in my life. And every time, each thing I've done has led me to something that I needed it for, or it helped me get to the place I needed to go next. And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey, and I think it's phenomenal. I want you to feel good. The thing is with life is that you just don't know where it's going to go, and you can't think about how you're going to get there. You just have to think about what it is that you want. What's the end result that you want to see? And then work backwards. Sometimes it's just a matter of knowing what you want, thinking about where you want to be and what you want out of your life to get you to that next place. And I'm not saying things are going to happen overnight, because they don't. I've been working with my business now. It's over 15 years. And I still struggle, but you know what? I've had amazing blessings. I've got to talk and teach in places that I never thought possible. So once I decided that's something I wanted to do, I started to meet the right people, I started to go to the right places, I took the right classes, everything just started to work itself out. And that's why it's important to think about what you want. And remember, one really important thing is that when the people say that you can't, and they say, oh, who do you think you are? What do you think you can do? Blah, blah, blah. Like, for instance, the other night, I had a sibling of mine really try to quash my dream. And I was telling her how I was interviewed on the news, the local news here, about a restaurant. They had some issue or whatever. And so I said, oh, well, here's a great opportunity to tell them that I do these shopping tours here in Tampa. And she said, what do you think, that the newscaster cares about your business? Something nasty. And I just said to myself, excuse you, like, how dare you squash that? I'm telling you. And he turned around and he said to me, that sounds really great. Maybe we could do something for Mother's Day, blah, blah, blah. So he said, can you email me the information? I said, sure. So I'm thinking, wow, a possible connection right here in the local news station here, which was CBS News. It's not a little station, right? So I'm thinking, that's a great thing. And then when she said that, it really like went right through me like a knife, because I'm thinking to myself, yes, you say that you want me to do well, and you say that you want me to do these great things, but then you go and you say something like that. That's not a good thing. So be careful of who you tell your dreams to, and don't listen to them. Let it go in one ear, out the other ear, and that's it. Pray and don't give up the faith. You know, there have been many things that I've always wanted to do, and it took a really long time to get there, and I don't give up. I get knocked on my ass, I get back up, I dust myself off, I may kick and scream in between, but I get back out there, I get back on the horse, and I go to the sunset. So I want you to do the same thing, because really, you can't give up no matter what. You have to make a contract with yourself that you just won't give up. And defeat is really, you know, it's tough. When you get defeated, it's not easy, because, you know, but think about it, the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. So when I first got into real estate, I remember saying, wow, you know, I have to make 100 calls a day to try to get one listing. But one of my mentors, when I was in real estate back then in the city, said, you know, you've got to hear 100 no's before you get a yes. And so that always stuck with me, and it's one of those great things I learned at a young age. I was about 21. And I realized, like, it's true, like, even with modeling, you know, I'd go on audition after audition after audition, or dancing for theater things, and, you know, you don't get the gig and this and that, and you try not to, like, take it personally and say, oh, that's not what I'm looking for, or you're not good enough, and blah, blah, blah. Or you're too thin, or you don't have a big enough breasts, or whatever the case may be, you know, or you're too heavy, whatever. Too dark, too light, too this, too that. There's always something that you don't have that they want. But you have to realize, you know what? Whatever. That's their problem. And I'll just go the next one. And maybe the next one I'll get. And that'll be for me. So anyway, I'm going to cut you guys a little slacking and stop ranting and raving. But I hopefully was able to give you some cool tips on life. And I will see you the next time. And remember to live peacefully, to live lovingly, to live successfully, and to live peacefully. Namaste.